Another topic is institution of importance, that is International Energy Agency. Why I have chosen this institution? Because in the previous lectures in one of the lecture I have told about NIA, and the other lecture is Enforcement Directorate. Okay. In this lecture we will be talking about an international agency. Why? Because this was in news, as India has signed the strategic partnership agreement with International Energy Agency. ठीक है. India joined IEA as association member in 2017. IEA is an international agency. ठीक है. तो India joined it as association member in 2017. There are 8 other association countries including China, and 30 nations are the part of IEA. IEA was formed under the framework of OECD, Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development. ठीक है. This is a step forward in India becoming a permanent member of IEA. ठीक है. There are certain criteria that have to be fulfilled to become the permanent member of IEA. ठीक है. India being an important energy consumer, and India is also the one of the countries, like India is only country that is on the path of achieving its INDCs, intended nationally determined contributions under the Paris obviously Paris Accord, है ना, COP21 के अंडर में जो Paris Accord हुआ उसका. Okay, in 1973 what happened was Arab-Israel war started, and USA started favoring Israel, due to which Arab countries at that time 86% of the production of petroleum या crude oil was governed by Arab countries, and that was represented by OPEC, है ना, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, and Venezuela was also a part of it. OPEC was established by Baghdad, in Baghdad. ठीक है. It was an organization of petroleum exporting countries. Sorry, the countries which exported petroleum and controlled the petroleum sector throughout the world. ठीक है. So in response, what happened was these OPEC countries, ठीक है, जो अरब कंट्रीज थी, जो 86% ऑफ ऑयल फ्लो को, क्रूड ऑयल फ्लो को पूरे वर्ल्ड में रेगुलेट कर रही थी, they put an embargo on USA and other countries that were supporting Israel, जिसकी वजह से the cost of goods, थोड़ा पानी, the cost of goods increased substantially and inflation occurred. ठीक है. And a major energy crisis occurred. ठीक है. उसके बाद क्या हुआ? OECD के मेंबर कंट्रीज ने IEA का फॉर्मेशन किया सिमिलर टू OPEC. ठीक है. And it was formed through agreement on international energy program. ठीक है. Now institutional structure क्या है? It is an autonomous intergovernmental body headquartered in Paris, France, क्योंकि OECD का हेडक्वार्टर पेरिस में है, फ्रांस में. ठीक है. थैंक यू. Okay. Now focus areas are energy security, economic development, environmental awareness, and engaging new world. Members are 30 and 8 association members. But whenever we are going to read all these institutions, we use what? Our usual method of block diagram. ठीक है. To become a member, this is very important because now India is on a path of becoming a member of this. Country should have crude oil and or equivalent to 90 days. Either the country should have its own crude oil deposits, or it should have an equivalent crude oil of 90 days of the previous year's net import. ठीक है. प्रीवियस ईयर का जो भी इंपोर्ट था, प्रीवियस ईयर का टोटल इंपोर्ट था, उस इंपोर्ट के बेसिस पे 90 डेज का आपके पास स्टॉक अवेलेबल होना चाहिए. इसके परस्पेंस में इंडिया इज ऑलरेडी मेकिंग व्हाट? इट्स ओन क्रूड ऑयल डिपॉजिट्स. ठीक है. नाउ डिमांड रिस्ट्रेंट प्रोग्राम टू रिड्यूस oil consumption by 10%. There should be a control of government on the flow of crude oil or petroleum, है ना, which should be controlled by government in such a fashion that whenever a demand restraint is asked for the country, it can restrain its demand by at least 10%. Legislation and organization to cooperate with, there should be a domestic legislation that should allow, ठीक है, the coordination between IEA and the government agencies. ठीक है, legislation and measures to ensure that all oil companies under its jurisdiction report information upon request. If IEA headquarter requests the oil companies like HPCL, IOCL, तो ये कंपनीज हमेशा ही IEA को इंफॉर्मेशन सबमिट करें. इसके लिए प्रॉपर कोऑर्डिनेशन के लिए लेजिस्लेशन होना चाहिए, रूल्स होने चाहिए. And measures in place to ensure capability of the contribution at share and IEA collective action. ठीक है. फिर एक 2 रुपए का 1 रुपए का क्वेश्चन है, ये सिंपल है. IEA रिलीजेस फॉलोइंग रिपोर्ट्स: ग्लोबल एनर्जी आउटलुक रिपोर्ट, कार्बन फुटप्रिंट रिपोर्ट, एनर्जी टेक्नोलॉजी पर्सपेक्टिव्स. द आंसर इज this: global energy and CO2 status report, world energy outlook, world energy statistics, world energy balances, energy technology perspectives. These are the reports that IEA releases. ठीक है. Now Pakistan gets GI tag for Basmati rice. That is another important topic because Pakistan, like traditionally Basmati rice has been grown into India. After British came to India, so this Punjab canal was made. ठीक है. And canal colonies were also set up. After the extension of this canal system into like now the western Punjab, that is in Pakistan, basically Lahore wala region, so Basmati started growing there. People started growing Basmati there. But traditionally, the qualities of Basmati that is exported throughout the world, the Basmati that is exported throughout the world, or the people who are consuming Basmati rice know that it's famous for its fragrance and its like longer grain. And those qualities are due to the presence, like due to the specific kind of weather condition, specific kind of soil conditions that are present in states of J&K, Himachal, Punjab in India, है ना. और इन स्टेट्स में बासमती का प्रोडक्शन होता है. बट जो पाकिस्तान में प्रोडक्शन होता है बासमती का, दैट इज आर्टिफिशियल इन द सेंस कि इट इज नॉट नेचुरल. ओनली आफ्टर द ब्रिटिश केम एंड दे एक्सटेंडेड कनाल्स इनटू द वेस्टर्न पंजाब, दैट इज इन पाकिस्तान, इन लाहौर रीजन, तो वहां पे प्रोडक्शन ऑफ बासमती स्टार्टेड. नाउ जीआई टैग्स क्या होते हैं? व्हाट इज जीआई? जीआई इज अ प्रोटेक्शन प्रोवाइडेड, है ना. Now, why in news? Despite India's opposition, Pakistan received the GI tag for Basmati rice. ठीक है. Pakistan received the GI tag, that means sui generis law. Sui generis law. ठीक है. What is sui generis law? Sui generis मतलब by the virtue of. ठीक है. Sui generis मतलब Pakistan enacted a GI law in 2020. इससे पहले पाकिस्तान में कोई GI law नहीं था. इंडिया में 2000 के अराउंड से ही है. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, जीआई प्रोटेक्शन का अप्रोच क्या है? अगर आपको किसी चीज को जीआई प्रोटेक्शन प्रोवाइड करना है तो व्हाट इज द अप्रोच? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, एवरी कंट्री विल हैव टू मेक अ लेजिस्लेशन टू प्रोटेक्ट इट्स जीआई प्रोडक्ट्स. फॉर एग्जांपल, इंडिया ने पहले अपना जीआई लॉ बनाया. उस जीआई लॉ के अंडर में लोग, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल असम टी हैज अ वेरी डिस्टिंक्ट क्वालिटी. The producers organization of the Assam tea, they approached Indian the director of patents, design and trademark, who is also the authority that operates this GI law in India, and it is headquartered in Chennai. So these Assam tea growers producer organization, है ना, they approached Chennai headquarters and they filed an application that Assam tea should be considered for its special qualities. ठीक है. Okay. Now that the analysis of Assam tea will be done, उसके बाद there will be a qualitative comparison, or it will be assessed कि how this tea is different from other teas and why is it different in the manner that it can be grown only in that area. ठीक है. तो Assam tea हैज स्पेसिफिक क्वालिटीज दैट इज एक्सेप्टेड थ्रू आउट द वर्ल्ड, है ना। मतलब कोई और इंसान पूरे वर्ल्ड में अपनी चाय को असम टी के नाम से नहीं बेच सकता है, बिकॉज इट हैज बीन प्रोटेक्टेड बाई सू जेनेरिस लॉ ऑफ इंडिया। एंड इंडिया, after India has registered its product as a GI in Indian registry, it has to protect its Assam tea in other countries, for example यूरोपियन यूनियन या ब्रिटेन। तो इंडिया को क्या करना होगा, वहां पे एक एप्लीकेशन फाइल करना होगा, ठीक है, इंडियन गवर्नमेंट को। बेसिकली इंडियन गवर्नमेंट विल फाइल एन एप्लीकेशन एंड इंडियन गवर्नमेंट विल रजिस्टर इंडियाज असम टी इन द जीआई रजिस्ट्री ऑफ यूके या यूरोपियन यूनियन। दैट मीन्स अब यूरोपियन यूनियन या यूके में कोई भी इंसान असम टी के नाम से कोई टी नहीं बेच सकता अनलेस एंड अनटिल इट इज इंपोर्टेड फ्रॉम असम। दिस इज हाउ जीआई सिस्टम्स वर्क। Now, trade-related intellectual property system was adopted in 1994. India is signatory to that. So, Article 22 and 23, 22, 23 and 24 of WTO negotiations on TRIPS, Trade-Related Intellectual Property System, mandate that every country should provide the minimum protection to GI products. ठीक है ना? That is, अब GI products में भी दो टाइप की चीजें हैं. The first one is appellation, origin of appellation. Origin of appellation. ठीक है? And the second one is GI. Origin of appellation is actually a specific GI. ठीक है? And it is governed through Lisbon Treaty. ठीक है? Lisbon Treaty. लेकिन ये सब तो ठीक है, लेकिन है क्या ये चीज, हमें ये समझना जरूरी है। ओरिजिन ऑफ एप्लीकेशन मतलब असम टी का अगर हम एग्जांपल लें, या अगर हम शेडार चीज या फ्रांस के या स्विस एल्प्स में बनने वाली किसी चीज का एग्जांपल लें, तो मोज़रेला फॉर एग्जांपल इज अ चीज, है ना। तो मोज़रेला को लाइट लेते हैं, असम चाय के बारे में बात करते हैं, बिकॉज it can be related more easily. Assam tea has specific qualities that are due to its geographic origin. मतलब असम के कुछ रीजन में जहाँ पे स्पेसिफिक काइंड ऑफ मॉइस्चर है, स्पेसिफिक काइंड ऑफ सनलाइट एक्सपोजर है, स्पेसिफिक काइंड ऑफ सॉइल मिनरल है, उन स्पेसिफिक काइंड ऑफ चीज़ों की वजह से असम में उगने वाली जो चाय है उसका एक डिस्टिंक्ट क्वालिटी है, उसका एक स्पेसिफिक फ्रेग्रेंस है, स्पेसिफिक टेस्ट है, एंड दैट टेस्ट हैज बीन accorded a protection. ठीक है, that is called origin of appellation. लेकिन it's very important to understand it in a very great detail, because now this Assam tea can never be produced in any part of the world. There will definitely be variances. ठीक है, but there is called पोचमपल्ली toys, है ना, या बनारसी साड़ीज फॉर एग्जाम्पल. Banarsi sarees can be produced anywhere else in the world using the same techniques, using the same artisans. But still, Banarsi sari has evolved as a specific brocade. Banarsi sari has a specific brocade and specific design, and that was only present in Banaras. ठीक है, and that is why it has been accorded a GI status. तो Banarsi sarees for example, है ना. Banarsi sarees have also been accorded GI status, but origin of appellation is weak. For example, any manufacturer in UK also can make a Banarsi saree using the same inputs and same artisans, है ना, and same machinery. But no matter how much you try, you cannot grow the same kind of Assam tree or Assam tea in any part of the world. So there is a distinction between both of them. ठीक है. So now what Pakistan has done, Pakistan has actually challenged India's representation of GI in European Union. Although Pakistan's import is very less, but still to meddle with, है ना, so they have done it. What is GI? I told you, GI is an indication, right? And a GI tag should always include either the generic name, For example, Basmati rice. Basmati is not a name of place, okay, but Basmati is grown across a region. So Basmati is a generic name, but not a name of place. But still, a Basmati rice has been awarded a GI tag. Or it should include the name of the place where it is grown or name of the region where it is grown. For example, Assam tea, Assam tea is grown in Assam, and Basmati rice is grown across the region. The Basmati is not a name of the place, but Assam is the name of place, due to which origin of appellation for Assam tea is higher. Now, what are the legal provisions? India signed the TRIPS in 1994 article. I told you all that. Geographical indication of India has enacted in the pursuance of this Geographical Indication of Goods Registration and Protection Act 1999, which came into effect in 2003, and subsequent to this act, regulations has been issued. Geographical Indication of Goods Registration of Protection Rules 2002. Registration of GI in India is not mandatory. Still, if someone violates, for example, but if Banarsi sarees were not awarded this GI tag, but some other person were selling sarees in the name of Banarsi sarees, the producer organizations of Banaras, which actually own this right of without like GI registration, also they have this exclusive right of producing Banarsi sarees. They can challenge them in a court on the breach of, like in the breach of, they can challenge such such manufacturers of Banarsi sarees who are not from Banaras and don't follow the specified procedures of Banarsi sarees. And even if they are even not following the procedures and they are not from Banaras and still they are selling the Banarsi sarees, that can be challenged under Indian law. मतलब GI का registration जरूरी नहीं है GI के regarding India में protection के लिए. But once the registration is granted, so it becomes easy, है ना, or it's a marketing tool. It gets the recognition of the whole people, and moreover, when it is registered under the GI registry, India can now, once it gets registered into the domestic registry, it can now be protected under the extraterritorial jurisdiction, for example in EU or UK. Duration of a GI is 10 years. After 10 years, उसको review करवाना पड़ेगा. But what if the case between two countries, there is a conflict between two countries, है ना? तो step 1 is register a GI in your own country, file an application in the other country to delist the product from the GI registered in that company. For example, बासमती का example अगर हम ले, तो अमेरिका में एक Texas based company, Rice Tech, I don't remember its name, what its name was, Rice Tech करके एक कंपनी थी. It registered Basmati. Oh yes, it's funny, but yes, it registered Basmati and filed patent for it. It registered Basmati, actually it was a Basmati rice, and they filed the patent for it and even got the patent in USA. Okay, and they started selling Basmati in the name of Basmati. After that, India fought a very long battle and India won the case. It was delisted there and Indian Basmati import was again the king. Similarly, तो delist करना है, फिर India का जो Basmati rice है, that got the recognition in USA. Case of conflict between two countries, ठीक है. In case of a transboundary GI, like Basmati rice that is grown in Lahore region as well and in India, ठीक है. And example, इसका दूसरा example है fazli mangoes. Fazli mangoes are grown both in Bangladesh and India also. But okay, first of all, section 5.4 of the Geneva Act of the Lisbon Agreement, पहले 2020 से पहले there was no procedure for a joint registration of a GI. For example, India and Pakistan, what if India and Pakistan both register Basmati rice through one competitive authority and get a common GI protection? But now under the Geneva Act of the Lisbon Agreement is on appellation, origin of appellation, ठीक है. After February 2020, now it can be granted. In case of homonymous products such as fazli mangoes of Bangladesh and India, both countries have laws that accord GI protection to homonymous products. Homonymous मतलब the products which has similar kind of names. Now we are back back to the starting. We have two more issues. They are shorter one. That is why I kept them for the last, because the issues that needed an explanation at greater length should be discussed first. Now, World Economic Outlook report has been released. It is released by IMF, International Monetary Fund. It is a biennial report that is released twice in a year, first in April and the second in October. It basically, what basically does is, as the name suggests, it's an economic outlook of the world. ठीक है? The global economy is going to projected to grow at 5.5% in 2021, ठीक है? And 4.2% in 2022. These are the projections. India's projected growth will be 11.5%. ठीक है? इंडिया के बजट में 14% का नॉमिनल ग्रोथ, ठीक है, इंडिया के बजट और इकोनॉमिक सर्वे में प्रोजेक्ट किया गया है. ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी इज गोइंग टू ग्रो एट फास्टर रेट देन द प्रीवियसली डिटरमाइंड. अक्टूबर में जो रिपोर्ट आई थी उसके कंपैरिजन में इंडियाज इकोनॉमी इज गोइंग टू ग्रो एट वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी इज गोइंग टू ग्रो एट अ फास्टर रेट, ठीक है, because of course the vaccine and the relative liquidity. बहुत सारा liquid easing of like Federal Reserve, Central Bank of Japan, the European Central Bank, and of course RBI. All these bigger banks have induced a lot of liquidity, जिसकी वजह से the economic prospects are going to be positive. Okay. The global contraction of economy has been minus 3.5%, 0.9% higher than the previous projection. ठीक है, previous projection was 4.4%. IMF in October report projected that the global economy is going to contract at 4.4%, but instead of 4.4%, it has contracted by the rate of 3.5%. ठीक है, तो this is estimate. इंडिया के लिए क्या estimates हैं? इंडिया के लिए प्रीवियस ईयर वी कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड बाय -8%, कॉन्ट्रैक्टेड बाय 8%. 2021 में वी विल बी एक्सपेंडिंग बाय 11.5% एंड 2022 में वी विल बी स्टिल एक्सपेंडिंग बाय 6.8%. इट इज हाईएस्ट अमंग ऑल द इमर्जिंग मार्केट्स एंड डेवलपिंग इकोनॉमीज. ओके, नाउ इट्स अ क्वेश्चन अगेन अबाउट द रिपोर्ट्स. Global Economic Outlook Report, Global Financial Stability Report, World Economic Situation Prospects. So I leave this question to you, but answers are here. IMF releases World Economic Outlook Report, Global Financial Stability Report, and Fiscal Monitor Report. That is, World Economic Situations Prospect is not released by what? Not released by IMF. Now again, Global Climate Risk Index. It has been released by German Watch. It's a German NGO. Index analyzes to what extent various regions and countries facing climate related weather events, है ना, climate related weather extremes कौन कौन से regions face कर रहे हैं and what are the kind of losses they are having. तो Mozambique is the worst affected country. India is the seventh worst. Mozambique is the worst affected country. Very important for prelims. This also for prelims important. India में 2267 fatalities हुई हैं and highest economic loss among all countries. Economic loss के terms में India is the highest. Fatalities के terms में Mozambique is the highest. Fine. और इंडिया में जो prime cause of natural disaster was flood caused by rain and it led to 1800 deaths. ठीक है. Between 2000 and 2019, 4,75,000 people lost their lives to nature. This is about the world, है ना, and extreme events, and it has cost the whole world $2.6 trillion. Indian economy का size $2.8 trillion के around है, and 19 years में this has been the loss due to weather induced reasons. Okay. That is all for the day. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. And now the forms for PCS are out. I hope you all are going to fill them. If you have any queries regarding the preparation strategy or regarding the current affairs or regarding the static portion as well, you can drop messages on the comment section. I'll be more than happy to reply as always. Thank you. That is all for the session.